Question of the morning. David Locke's comp for Ace Bailey is Tracy McGrady. Who is your comp? That was a question early in the weekend. Later in the question, when Ace didn't play. Ace Bailey hasn't played the last 2 Summer League games. Have you seen enough? And what about the other players? Is that what it comes down to?
What?
We need to see enough of these guys in Summer League. Need to see them in a competitive environment, make some kind of play that catches our imagination. And it's different questions for different players. You know, the player can't shoot the three. I saw him hit the three. I saw him hit off the dribble. I know he can do it. For the player who's, been a super athlete at the previous level, I need to see him make an athletic play against bigger, more athletic guys. And then I can sit back and dream who the comp is. I was thinking, we were talking in the last segment about, you play 2 Summer League games, is that enough? And I remember when it was not the Salt Lake Review, but the Rocky Mountain Review a decade ago, and it was a bigger thing. There were more players, and they were playing at Salt Lake Community College. There were more teams. And I can remember getting to like the 6th game and thinking, I've seen enough.
They would play 6 games?
It seems like they did. They had different formats, different years. So whether it was 5, 6, or 7, I don't know. But I can remember thinking, I'm not going to learn anymore. I've seen him play enough now. I kind of got an idea who this player is. And now at 2, maybe more things could be revealed. But is there like some magic number for Summer League games? I've seen 4 games. This is now enough. I guess there is. I guess the magic number is now 2. But have you seen enough to sit around? I mean, whatever Ace Bailey is going to be, and we can all have comps, and we have people who have combinations here. We'll get to them, combinations of players, which accurately is probably more accurate. I don't think a player is going to be a carbon copy of another player.
Which accurately is probably more accurate. I like that.
Thank you.
I appreciate your accuracy.
Yeah, I wandered around accuracy for a while. I was always held it at arm's length. Never got too close. Never got too far away. Have you seen enough of the Ace Bailey to get an idea?
I saw enough
like,
before he went to the 2 Summer League games. For me. I mean, I think it's important to be with the team, and they work out. They have veterans that they're doing other stuff with besides these games. So the fact that he's playing or not playing in these games really waters down the interest in Summer League. I understand all that, but Summer League is not what the Jazz are looking for him to star in and think that, okay, we've got something here and he's going to be our mainstay. He's there and they're working out and they do all these other things. And I think that's important. I like his body language on the bench. I mean, he was cheering and all. Yeah. And he looks like he's 15 years old, but he was excited for the other guys that were out there. He looks fully engaged for all those who didn't think he wanted to be there, here or that, and all that stuff is gone now, and he's playing or he's with the team. And I've certainly seen enough because I've seen what I already saw for many games.
Right, and that's the difference now, thanks to the Big Ten Network. You could watch him play 20 games in college.
And I did.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't used to be able to do that. And even Duke probably went on 20 times back in the day, and whoever else they drafted from whatever school.
I don't live back in the day, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't need Summer League the way you used to figure out who these guys are. You had a better idea.
I never paid attention to what I needed to do back in the Summer League in 1997. I have no idea what was going on then. I can't remember it, and I don't care about it. Ace Bailey, to me, has an opportunity to be a really good player. That's the facts. And I think he'll show well as a rookie on a graded scale. I look at him. The Tracy McGrady thing doesn't work as much because McGrady, and I was looking it up the other day when we were talking about it, he had 7 seasons, I think, which he averaged at least 5 assists. That's a pretty good number for not a primary
ball handler.
Not ball handler, but primary passer because he had the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. Like Jimmer had the ball a lot when he played at BYU.
But it wasn't his primary job,
right.
And there was somebody else on the team who did most of that.
Right.
But 5's a good number, you're right.
And I don't see that for Bailey. And we're projecting out 5-6 years before he comes close to hitting his prime. But right now, I just don't see that. And McGrady's everything is behind us. So we had the early McGrady, the middle McGrady, and the later McGrady, right? So we have everything to judge on that. And 5, and there were a couple seasons, I believe, he had over 6 That's really good for somebody who isn't in the NBA to pass. And if Bailey could get that, that would be awesome. I look at him maybe as a shorter Durant in terms of the ability to get his shot.
Joshua's out there somewhere right now screaming, "Yes, PK, you're the man."
Really?
He said somewhere between KG and Kevin Durant.
Ooh, we're going Durant or Garnett. Garnett was a different kind of player. I see Bailey's game more modeled after Durant. Now, Durant is pushing 7 feet, and Bailey isn't, so he's giving up 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches of height. But I went back and was typing in stuff about Bailey, knowing that we'd be talking about this, and there was a quote from Durant that said he is an elite shot maker, and I'm paraphrasing, the kind of shots he can take and make are crazy. And, that's been one thing is there's basically in a half-court setting a shot that hasn't been invented yet that Ace Bailey can't get off. So that's good. I mean, you don't want him taking crazy shots, but the fact that guys can't really get up into him and prevent him from shooting is a good asset to have. And Durant, because of his extreme length, has had that to a high level. So as we were talking about on Friday, it's not about the results. Kevin Durant is a Hall of Famer through and through. There's no question. We're just looking at the types of games. So that's why I wasn't, Durant or McGrady didn't get out of the first round. Well, Durant has gotten out of the first round, but I'm not on either side saying, he's that player or he's that player. I'm just looking for body type, and I'm looking for style of game. The results are to be determined literally over the next decade. And even at that, doesn't even put him at 30. So probably the next 15 years. We're 2040 when he's winding down. You know what I mean? That is so far out there.
You call me from a golf course somewhere in 2040.
If I can have the ability to call you from anywhere, I would be happy.
Happy in 2040.
I mean, that's just so far down the road. We're just looking at types of style of play that we can match. And if he's a cross between any of these guys, that's just awesome. I'd take McGrady now, Garnett, Durant, sure. The style. You can't go on the production because that's too much. Too much to ask right now. Certainly no one can say, he's a Kevin Durant, man. He is going to be a 10-time All-Star and a Hall of Fame guy, blah, blah. But his style of play, I can see that. Because Durant, shot-wise, in terms of the ability to get it off, is unstoppable.
Yes, but back to your earlier point, Garnett and Durant are significantly taller than Ace Bailey, which makes Bailey's ability to get these shots off more impressive. It's easier and more predictable that Kevin Durant is going to rise up over somebody, shoot with the shot clock running down, even if the guy's right up in his chest, and then he's going to make the shot, and he's going to go running back down court, holding the fingers apart, saying you're too small. Well, that's not going to be as easy for Bailey to do, and maybe he'll get to do it to some 6'2" or 6'3" guy who's matched up with him at some point. But it's not the same deal. But it's a huge skill to have. I mean, you're going to have over the course of that, between now and 2040, as you say, how many times is the shot clock going to be running down? And his ability to get a shot off will be huge.
Right. So I think he's got that going for him in that way. I wouldn't put the label of the next Kevin Durant by any stretch. Durant is significantly bigger. And obviously, Ace Bailey can get bigger or stronger, but I don't know how much bigger
taller.
he can get. Yeah. And I don't know that I necessarily want him. And that was the big thing. Durant can't bench 180 and blah, blah, blah.
And so what?
Yeah, that was an irregardless. It just didn't matter whatsoever. So we can get caught up on that as far as that goes. So we've got that situation here to look at for Bailey right now. Where is his game? I think his game, on a scale, has to be on a scale. You can't grade evenly. On a scale, I think is extremely promising. And I think we'll see that this season. But it has to be on a scale. It can't be thinking he is a made man, so to speak, in the NBA. It's just no way.
He's a teenager. Can't set the bar that high.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
And Brian acknowledges that. He says, too early to compare him to anyone. Let Ace Bailey run his own race and create his own identity.
Yeah, he will, though.
Ultimately, he will.
That will. No, but that's not.
Right now, while he's a teenager.
Talk. This is fun.
I know. Right now, while he's a teenager, let's project.
And argue. No, you're up in the night. Or, yeah, that's a great thing. We're talking sports here, man. And all possibilities are out there. At the end, when we get done at 10 o'clock, the discussion we're having right now at 7:36, it'll be meaningless. But so what? So much of what we say. And he'll run his own race, certainly. But talk about it now, what he can become. That's why we turn on the television. If we knew the outcome, we wouldn't turn it on.
The beauty of live sports.
Right, and game 1 in October, absolutely, man. That's what I'm saying about the Jazz this season. These last couple seasons obviously have been downers, but in the downer category, this has the most intrigue and promise. And that's the way I think if you're a fan, you have to look at it this year.
This will be more intriguing than the previous years because they will be playing more young guys. Obviously, they have more time to draft more young guys.
And the young guys that they have are a little older. So you can increase a level of expectation.
Right. Yes. Cody Williams now has another year to develop.
Right.
Filipowski, another year.
And they sat Sensabaugh, and he gave a great interview during the game. I was watching it. Seems like a smart young man. And where he fits in and all that, okay? He lit it up in his 2 Summer League games. Are you for real? And what level of for real are you? You've managed to stay in the NBA. I imagine if the Jazz put you on waivers, somebody else would pick you up, so you'd still be in the NBA. But you want to do more than just be in the NBA. Everybody does, and certainly that young man does too. He wants to be a player in the NBA. Can he be? He's going, and he talked about it. He said, well, I'm in my third year now. I mean, he didn't want to just, it was even stupid that I played. He didn't say that. But he did acknowledge, hey, I'm going in my 3rd year, so I should be doing. He didn't really say that, but that was the point he was making.
It was implied, yes.
Well,
and he implied it in an earlier press conference when he was saying, yeah, I'm here to help the young guys whose heads are spinning. You know, his head is not spinning anymore. He knows what the deal is. He knows what's expected of him. But, man, when you first show up in the pro game and it's different and you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, this is loosely the pro game, though. I mean, it's the Summer League. Most of these guys are not NBA players. I get that. And that's where I think that those are the types. That's what I said last year, that I wasn't looking for Mills to impart wisdom. Your peer group, your most recent peer group, they're the ones who can impart wisdom because they're going through what you're going through. Not somebody from at 35 years of age, you can barely remember what he went through, but somebody who's 22 and you're 19 can help you. So on that. But that's why I have, when the season comes here, the most intrigue that I've had. And maybe by the time I get to January, I will say, oh, this sucks again. And then we've just changed to BYU, and can they get Debonsa? Maybe so. I don't think that's going to be the case. That'll always be the underlying theme, is the 26th draft, understood. But I think we'll see enough excitement and enough promise to cause us to at least push the arrow from down to neutral, maybe up.
Is it okay? I get where you're going.
Yeah,
I would say neutral. There's still the chance that injuries are going to derail guys and that they will shut guys down for one reason or another. Right, but if you know, like Vase, if you know
they're not going to shut down anybody. They told us they're not going to tank. I'm taking AA at his word. They're not. If a player is shut down, it might be the occasional rest.
And also,
or a knick-knack body.
Super careful with, that's it. That's the one. Super careful with injuries. Are these guys going to be playing 60 games? Not because they're trying to lose, but because they're trying to be super careful with injuries.
But I don't think they're going to sit guys for the purpose of sitting. Occasionally that may happen, but not to the level of this past season. They told us, and Austin H didn't say that, without believing that people are going to hold me accountable for what I just said. He knows full well that he's going to be held accountable for that.
We're all listening and paying attention.
Yes.
I just wonder if these guys are really going to play 75 games because it just doesn't seem to be how the NBA works. Now, they're not going to play 47 because they're trying to lose. I take Austin his word on that part of it. But how many nights am I going to be entertained? Well, between those 47 appearances and 75, that's a lot of wiggle room. And we talked about it last year. You get to the points where you got the Jazz are playing and the Hockey's playing and the Cougars, who knows where they're going to be ranked, and they're playing, and what's Alex Jensen doing at the U, and there's a lot of games, so if suddenly you start sitting 3 guys for whatever reason, you're a little less compelling.
Yeah, okay, but if you sit 3 guys, then I got 3 other guys there that I could turn my attention to.
That is
and I don't
possible.
have to worry about John Collins and Clarkston and those guys. They're gone, and they're good people, but they got in the way of what was trying to be accomplished, which is why they basically gave them away.
Didn't fit the timeline.
And so now if Ace Bailey sits, well, I'll have Walt Clayton over here. And I still have Cody Williams over there. And obviously, Taylor Hendricks, this guy, we want to see him. He's a flower, man, and grow from the ground up. And last year, he got cut off. Well, this year, what do you got? So the reason why I have more optimism this year going into this next season is under that scenario that you just painted. If it does happen, I still got A, B, and C, and D over here to watch.
They got 3 more guys to plug in.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still watching Cody Williams and Filipowski, who I was thinking he was going to get shut down. Think he'd play tonight, or will he get shut down tonight?
I would assume he wouldn't play. Let these other dudes that are auditioning for European contracts have their moment. You brought them aboard.
Yeah.
Let them do it. Plenty of opportunities. You want those guys. If you have to go overseas and make money, great. That means you're playing ball for a living and making money. It's not in your backyard. It's not in the NBA, but it's the next best thing. And that's still really cool. And if you do that for a few years and then you can come back and you got a little bit of stash of cash and you manage your money right, that's a life success story. So I would go along those lines. I've seen Filipowski jack it up enough, and he's a player, man. He can blossom too. I mean, we're talking about these younger guys because they're the new fresh thing, particularly Bailey and Clayton. But let's see what Flipper can do, man. He wasn't a fluke.
Second and third year guys can be compelling too.
So we didn't even talk about them, or him, I should say, as far as if Bailey sits. Okay, so then Flipper gets an opportunity to play 35 minutes. And if he strings together 15 good games out of 18, get fired up.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. More hoops with Steve Cleveland coming up at 9 o'clock. College football with Brett Ciancia at 8, and a lot of you are weighing in on it already. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.